How has mental wellness for student athletes evolved historically? Imagine a time when athletes were expected to be unbreakable, hiding any signs of struggle. That was the reality for many student athletes in the past. Mental health was rarely talked about, and asking for help was often seen as a sign of weakness. There were very few resources available for those dealing with stress, anxiety, or depression. Athletes were told to tough it out and focus only on their physical performance. Things started to change in the early 2000s when colleges and sports organizations began to see that student athletes face unique mental health challenges. Unlike regular students, athletes juggle training, competitions, travel, and team duties, all while keeping up with schoolwork. This mix of responsibilities can lead to high stress levels, sleep issues, and feeling overwhelmed. Research showed that student athletes were at risk for mental health problems like depression, anxiety, eating disorders, and substance use. In 2008, the first major campaigns raised awareness about mental health in college sports. These campaigns aimed to show that athletes are not immune to mental health struggles and that support is essential. Over the next few years, organizations like the National Collegiate Athletic Association started taking action. In 2014, they published a guide called Mind, Body, and Sport. This guide gave practical advice for coaches, athletic departments, and mental health providers on how to recognize signs of mental health issues and connect athletes with help. By 2016, the National Collegiate Athletic Association released a set of mental health best practices. These guidelines required schools to offer mental health services, train staff to spot warning signs, and create systems for referring athletes to care. They also included mental health screenings as part of pre-participation exams. The goal was to make it easier for athletes to seek help and to reduce the stigma around mental health. The COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 had a major impact on student athletes' mental wellness. With sports canceled and routines disrupted, many athletes felt more depressed and anxious. Social support from teammates and coaches was reduced, making things harder. This crisis made it clear that mental health support is not just helpful but necessary, especially during uncertain times. Today, most colleges and universities have mental health programs specifically for student athletes. These include access to counselors, sports psychologists, and peer support groups. There is no more open talk about mental health, with many athletes sharing their own stories. This helps reduce stigma and encourages others to seek help when needed. For student athletes balancing sports and academics, these changes mean more resources and support systems are available. Schools are working to create environments where talking about mental health is safe and where athletes can get help without fear. Regular check-ins with mental health professionals, stress management workshops, and education for coaches and teammates are common steps. In the end, mental wellness for student athletes has shifted from being ignored to being a priority. This change has led to better support, more resources, and a culture that encourages seeking help. Now, athletes know they are not alone in facing these challenges, and there are more ways to get the help they need to succeed both on and off the field.